with typing into the chat area if you guys want to share a bright spot from your week. Something that was cool and exciting. Mine is that a friend of ours delivered some flowers to our porch today, which was just a nice little pick-me-up and a little brightness added to our kitchen. So that was great. Feel free to type that in at any point. I'm going to start talking through what we're doing today as other people kind of join us, giving them some time. Our first piece is going to be this 12-minute Amrap. It is intended to be for quality of movement more than anything else. We've got 10 staggered good mornings. I'll go over what that is. Really working on some hamstring engagement and some single side work there. Then 10 forearm push-ups. This is going to be a really tricep heavy movement, just kind of targeting a smaller muscle group with that. Then 10 thoracic twists, working on some mobility, getting our kind of rib cage, thoracic region opening up. And then some sumo inchworms at the end. Again, I'll show you guys what all those things are. I'll also put this into the chat area later on, so if as we're going through, like, I forget what we're doing, I'll be talking through it, but also you'll have it as like a visual reminder there. So that's part one. Then part two, we've got some intervals, 5 rounds, 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest. You've got 30 seconds of an Lsat Hold. We'll go over different ways to modify that. Most of us are probably just going to be on our butts in our living rooms. Then 30 seconds of rest. Then 30 seconds of the PVC overhead squats. Again, for some people it might turn into an air squat. If you have a weight and have the mobility and strength for a single arm overhead squat, that could be our variation. 30 seconds rest, and then 30 seconds of some kind of cardio movement. I have jumps here, so if you have a jump rope, perfect option there. If you don't have a jump rope and you're tired of just like hopping around your living room, then we could go to like something like a no push-up burpee, just something to keep us moving for that 30 seconds. Then we're resting and repeating again. Any questions so far on what we've got going today? Okay, guys, let's go ahead and get moving. Go ahead, find yourself some space. And the first thing I want you to do is go ahead and give me 5 air squats. Probably not going to be your most comfortable air squats of the day. Maybe you take your time down at the bottom, kind of moving those hips, sitting below parallel as best we can. 5 air squats. Followed by 5 lunges each side. You can do these stepping forward or stepping back. Just trying to get those hips moving. 5 lunges a side, 10 total. Getting those legs going. Then from there, we're going to grab 10 leg swings each side. So make sure you've got some room behind you. You're going to swing that leg behind you and then back in front. If that's hard for you balance-wise, grab hold of something in your area and grab 10 leg swings forward and back, and then switch sides. You can start small and build bigger with those as you go. 10 leg swings each side. Working on a little bit more balance, but getting a deeper stretch with it here. Next one, you're going to hug your knee into your chest, give yourself a big squeeze, and then you're going to take your heel to your butt. Trying to work on balance. If you need to use the wall for some support again, go for it. Good, 5 aside, knee to chest, then heel to butt, 5 each side. And total, 5 aside, getting those hips moving. This is a great one to just do randomly throughout the day. Get a little balance working and a nice little stretch of your hips. Once you guys get through 5 aside of those, 10 total, we're going to grab 5 more air squats this time around. If you want to adjust your feet a little bit, go a little wider, a little narrower, go for it. Or you can keep those feet in your normal squat stance. Hopefully feeling a little bit better this time around. 5 more air squats. Then 10 more lunges. Maybe you switch it up. If you stepped forward last time, maybe you step backwards this time, or vice versa. If you step back last time, maybe you step forward this time. Just changing that stimulus up a little bit. If you're stepping backwards, a little bit more spatial awareness going on. 10 total, 5 aside. Then we're gonna go back to our leg swings. You can do them exactly the same as we just did, straight forward and straight back. Or if you wanna go facing the support wall, you can go across your body, a little bit more of a lateral leg swing. If you're doing that one, I would definitely grab a hold of something rather than trying to do it in space. It's a little tougher. Go ahead, 10 each side of that. Beautiful, Jordan. 10 each side of those leg swings. Good job, guys. Once you get through that, we're going back to our standing knee to chest. This time, if you want to stick with the same version, go for it. Or maybe we take that knee to chest and then take our ankle in front and across the body, so we're in kind of like a standing pigeon, knee to chest, and then figure 4. We'll do the same thing 5 times each side. If you're taking that knee, that ankle across the chest, make sure we're not pointing our toes. Try to keep that ankle flexed, those toes pointed straight out away from you instead of out to the side. 5 each side of that. Again, it can be that knee to chest and across the body, or knee to chest and heel to butt. Maybe you do a little of both. 5 each side. Once you get through that, come on down to a tabletop, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. From here, we're gonna get 5 cat-cows, drop your belly down, then curl chin to chest. 5 times through that cat-cow. Get a little movement through your back. And we're gonna grab 3 reps of a push-up to down dog. So you're gonna come to a plank or drop to your knees. Either way, you're gonna do a push-up. Then you're gonna tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, press your chest back to your thighs. Do that 3 times. Push up, then press up and back. Good job. Keep thinking about pressing your head and your chest back towards your thighs, like we're pushing our head through a window. After your last one, we'll come back to our plank, and we're gonna get 10 scat push-ups. So you can do that from hands and knees, or we can do it from our plank, just moving through those shoulders 10 times through that scat push-up, getting some movement through your shoulder blades. Nice job, Leslie. It's gonna look kind of like the cat-cow, but really focused on just the shoulder region, not so much towards the mid and lower back. Then we're gonna come down to our bellies, tee the arms out. You're gonna take your right arm out to the side, left foot towards the ceiling, and roll your left foot towards your right hand. And then you'll switch sides, left arm out, right foot towards the left side. Do that 3 times each way. If it feels better to you to do that scorpion from the wall, that's okay. You can go from that position instead of from your bellies. 3 times each side through that scorpion. Then meet me back in a tabletop or plank. We'll do one more thing before we start going over our movements for this skill kind of accessory Amrap today. You're gonna come to that plank. You're gonna take your left foot outside the left hand into a groiner position. So my right knee is down and pushing my hips forward. Then I'm gonna push my hips back, pull my toes towards the ceiling, And then I'm gonna repeat 3 times each side. Hips forward, then hips back. Getting into your hips and your hamstrings. 3 times each side. On some of those, as you're working through the groiner position, maybe you start to twist. Just find what feels good to you, moving and grooving. Depending on what you've been doing all day, might be feeling a little more tight and restricted. You need to work it out. Once you guys get through those last groiners, we'll come up to standing. We're gonna start going over our movements for the accessory work today. So the first one's gonna be that staggered good morning. You're gonna step 1 foot about 6 inches in front, just like you're taking a small little step. It's not a really big step. I'm gonna pull my toes slightly up towards the ceiling. I'm gonna push my hips back. That foot that is back in space, that knee's gonna bend a little. I'm gonna push my hips back till I feel tension in that straight leg hamstring. And I'm gonna stand back up. Go ahead, try that 3 times each side. Hips go back till you feel tension in that hamstring, and then stand back up. If you have something like a dumbbell that you could hold on to in your hands, that could be a way to weight this if you have access to that equipment. So that front toe, you can pull your toe a little bit off the ground. That will change this up a little. Keep thinking about your hips going back. Good, Jordan. Go ahead, relax. That's number 1. Next, we're gonna come down to the ground. Next is our forearm push-up. So again, this is gonna be really targeting the triceps more than our normal push-up. I'm gonna bring my hands in front of my normal plank position. I can do this from my toes or my knees. I'm gonna drop my elbows to the ground so that my shoulder's still on top of my elbow, and then I'm gonna press back up. Elbows to the ground, press back up. I want my elbows to move together. If you need this to be easier, try pulling your knees in a little bit. That'll change that up. If you want it harder, bring your toes to the ground. Go ahead, try 3 of those. Nice, Leslie. Good, Robin. Beautiful, Joe. So we have 10 of those technically in a round, but if you're like, oh my gosh, 3 just smoked me, that's really difficult, go drop the reps down to something that's gonna be more doable for you. It's not a big deal if you don't have to do them all in one go, but you also don't wanna feel like you're taking 4 minutes to accomplish 10 of them. Okay, so feel free to scale that a little bit if you need to. Next question. Yes, Leslie.
So when I know on these, when I start to get tired, I like kind of like pull up. Is there a way to kind of help yourself do that other than just scaling back the reps? You know what I mean?
I mean, it's just probably going a little bit slower, a little bit more controlled, and then just taking rest if it's happening. Like take a little rest or scale back rather than like pushing through.
Right.
Cool. Next is that thoracic twist. So go ahead, come on up to standing for a moment. And then we're gonna come right back down to the bottom of a squat. From here, I'm gonna reach my left arm forward and my right arm up towards the ceiling as best I can. And then I'm gonna come back to the middle, right arm forward, left arm up. Every time you do that as 1, go ahead, do 2 more each side for me. If you're struggling to keep your feet on the ground, try adjusting your stance a little bit. Go a little wider, maybe pull your hips up a little so you're not in as deep of a squat, so we can keep our full foot on the ground as we twist. You got 10 of those. Go ahead, come on up to standing again. This one, we're gonna take our feet wide. This is our last movement. Feet are gonna be wide. From here, I'm gonna push my hips back, find the ground. I'm gonna walk out to a plank and then sink my hips to the ground. And then I'm gonna walk myself back in and stand. Go ahead and do that 3 times. That inchworm with our feet really wide. once you get through a couple of those, come on back over so you can see this. Again, just a reminder, we're going 12 minutes, 10 staggered good mornings, 5 a side, 10 forearm push-ups, or drop the reps down if you need to, 10 thoracic twists, 5 a side, and then 5 of those sumo inchworms. I've also, again, typed it into the chat area. As you're going through, if you need to take the time to throw in like a couple other stretches as you need to, go for it. We're just trying to move well for 12 minutes. Questions? All right, starting in 10 seconds. Again, this isn't something you're trying to move super quickly. We do want to get like a little bit of a sweat going. 2, 1, and go. 5 staggered staggered good mornings first. You can do all 5 in a row on one side. Robin, bring your feet just a little closer together. Not quite so big of a step, yes. Just a small little step forward. Everyone's range of motion is gonna look a little bit different on this. We're aiming for that back to stay flat. So as I'm going, I don't wanna see rounding forward through my shoulders. If that's happening, just don't go quite so low. 5 of those each side. Then your next movement is your forearm push-ups. Keep thinking about pressing hard through your palms. Your triceps are going to be turning on to press you up back into that plank. Nice, Hillary. Good job, Jordan. Those are beautiful. Guys are looking great. After your forearm planks, you have your thoracic twists in that squat position. 10 total, 5 a side. Beautiful, Leslie. Try to pull your chest up just a little more, Joe. Yes, really nice. Good job, guys. Reminder, if you're like, I'm lost and confused, it's always in there on the chat area, not just me talking you through it. After those thoracic twists, you're into your wide-legged inchworms, that sumo stance, where we're walking our hands forward, sinking our hips to the ground, and then pressing and walking back in. Take your time in different positions that feel comfortable there. Don't feel like you have to rush through it. Just because you've hit the position doesn't mean you need to move on. You can take your time. Once you get through those sumo inchworms, you're back to the top with those staggered good mornings. We're about 3 minutes in, so a good goal is going to be to get through about 4 rounds of this. If you're, someone who's motivated by that kind of thinking. Trying to shoot for 5 rounds, or 4 rounds, sorry, words are hard. Good job, Shivani and Isha. Job, Rosie. Beautiful twists. Now try to keep those elbows in just a little bit more, Jordan, not letting them splay out to the side. Think about those elbows right in line with your palms. Better. Good job. Joe, you're like a superhero with those. Mightily impressed. Good job, Elizabeth. After your thoracic twist, you got your wide-legged inchworms, that sumo stance. Guys are halfway through these 12 minutes. Again, if you're wanting to throw in a little different stretch here and there, feel free. I feel like I'm really feeling the need for something that we aren't incorporating here. Totally fine to throw that in. Goal is just getting us to work some stability, mobility, and strength, some different areas that we haven't necessarily worked too much on this week. Job, Hillary. Nice, Joe. Stay slow and controlled with those staggered good mornings and don't feel like you have to push your range of motion. If you feel tension, start to lift back up. Job, Robin. Keep it up, Jose. Excellent work, Joe. You're so bendy, Leslie. Good job, Sindowicz.
No, my shoulders just started really hurting this push-up.
Leslie's also jamming on her side. I'm living for it. I hope you're all rocking some amazing tunes right now. Maybe that's the best part of these classes is you guys can all be your own DJ instead of being forced to listen to whatever I'm into today. The answer is Beyonce, if you were wondering. Rewatched Homecoming this week, so important stuff. We've got 3 minutes left. Again, maybe we're shooting to try to get through one more round. Katie is clipping along at that breakneck pace. Last couple minutes here, and then we'll get into part 2 where we start to get sweaty. Sweatier, perhaps, if you're feeling a little heating up already. Good job, Rosie. Good job, Jordan. Briscoe's so proud of you, Hillary. Keep it up. Nice job, Liam. Guys, I have just 90 seconds left. Getting a couple more movements in. Good job, Isha. Last little minute here. Good, Joe. Hi, Briscoe. Last couple reps, guys. Five seconds. And relax. Beautiful. All right, guys, come on back over if you want to look at this workout one more time. Our 3 movements. We've got L-sits, overhead squats with a broomstick, or maybe air squats, or maybe a single arm overhead squats, and then jumps. Those can be with a jump rope. They can be over a line, or if you're like, I'm tired of just jumping in place, you can go with something like a no push-up burpee. Just something to kind of keep us moving for 30 seconds. Okay, so let's go ahead and meet on your bottoms. We'll go over that L-sit first. Move this down a little bit so we can see. So you're just gonna start trying to sit up as tall as we can, not leaning back so much. And the first thing I want you to do is just lift your left leg 5 times, and then lift your right leg 5 times. Start to feel those hip flexors and core engage. If you're like, that's difficult, maybe you slide your hands back a little bit. It'll be harder if you slide your hands forward. So the goal of our L-sit is to try to pull both feet off the ground and hold that position. It's really tough. The farther forward your hands are, the tougher it is. The farther back your hands are, the easier it is. But we want to try not to sit back to the point that now I'm in a V shape instead of more of an L shape. Things that we can do to make that a little easier, you can just hold one leg at a time, or you can bend your knees a little bit. That'll help make that a little easier. Go ahead, find one of those variations and try holding for about 10 breaths. If you are lucky enough to have something like parallettes or like a bar to hang from, there are other options there as well, but it seems like most of us are sticking to a ground variation just based on the equipment I see around. Okay, any questions on the L-sit? If 30 seconds is too long, just hold as long as you can, take a break, and then head right back to it as much as you need during those 30 seconds. Next, come on up to standing. And we're gonna start to grab whatever our object is. So again, some of us, it's maybe a PVC pipe, maybe it's a scarf, maybe it's a broomstick. You're gonna take your hands wide. We're gonna press overhead. I want you to think really active. Push away. Imagine if I were to come over to your house, break in, and pull on that bar, you are going to be actively pushing up against it. From here, I'm gonna squat down, keeping that bar over my head at the bottom, and then driving back up. If my weight's shifting forward a ton, don't squat as low. Go try 5 of those. Pull the bar just a little bit more forward, Elizabeth. Good. All right, so again, options if you have like a weight, we can do a single arm overhead. We can also go to just an air squat. Maybe if you're doing the air squat, we do it with reaching our arms overhead to just kind of feel that idea of I'm squatting and I'm reaching and pressing overhead. Okay, that's movement number 2. Questions on that? Okay, last but not least is going to be that jump. So if you have a jump rope, go ahead and grab it, and I just want you to give me 30 singles. If you don't have a jump rope, just grab 30 little jumps. Okay, so other options on the jumps. If you are wanting to make it a little bit more difficult and you have a jump rope, we could go with the double under. If you don't have a jump rope and you'd prefer to go to like a no push-up burpee, that's a great option instead. If you are sharing equipment at all with a friend, your quarantine buddy, then maybe like one of you starting on the Lsats, one of you starting on the overhead squats, and you're cycling through that way. We're gonna get going here in just a moment. I'm gonna show you guys the workout one more time, and we'll get going. Throw in any questions you have to the chat area, or unmute. Again, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Lsats, overhead squats, and then jumps, no push-up burpees, whatever your variation is there. Cool? So fun. Oopsie. Getting the clock set up for you guys. And then we will get going. Thumbs up when you're ready. Beautiful. Starting in 10 seconds. On Lsats. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Find that Lsat hold. Maybe we need to bend the knees. And whatever variation is going to work for you. Trying to keep that hold going as much of the 30 seconds as we can. Good job, Katie. Three, 2, 1, rest. 30 seconds to rest. Next, you're going to your PVC pipe for your overhead squats. If you are going to keep track of anything for your score today, it's going to be this movement. So just keeping track of your total overhead squats or air squats, whatever you are using for your variation. And most of us have overhead squats going, which I love. We're going in 10 seconds. And 5, 3, 2, 1, go. Nice steady pace. Keep pressing up towards the ceiling. Make sure those shoulders are staying nice and active. Imagine you had a weight in hand, and if you were relaxed through your shoulders, it would fall onto your skull. We don't want that. Halfway, 10 seconds, sorry, not halfway. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good, relax. Next is gonna be your jumps or no push-up burpees. Whatever version you're choosing. Again, if you're keeping track of a score, I just want to know those total squats at the end of today. 10 seconds. Just trying to keep moving. Maybe it's jumps, maybe it's no push-up burpees. Just stay nice and active for 30 seconds. Good job, Joe. Keep it up, Jordan. 3, 2, 1, rest. One round done, guys. Catch your breath, make your way back towards the ground. And take an easy seat. We're back to our L-sits. One round done, 4 to go. 5, 2, 1, go. Good job, Robin. Let's go, Joe. Almost there, stay with it. And rest. Nice work. Back to your overhead squats. Start resetting. Back to standing. 15 seconds. Going in 5, 2, 1, go. Let's go, Shivani. Nice, Robin. Good work, Lastly. Keep it up, Rosie. Ten left. And rest. Good job, guys. Back to your jumps. Trying to push as hard as we can in those 30 seconds. So we earn that rest. 10 seconds. Should come as a nice treat. 5, 2, 1, go. Right back to it. If you're doing no push-up burpees, try to get back to the ground as quick as possible. If you trip on your jump rope, same thing, try to get right back to it. Let's go, Hillary. Keep it up, Elizabeth. 10 seconds left. Good, Jordan, keep it up, Liam. And rest. Good job. 2 rounds done, 3 to go. Again, if you're keeping track of those squats, maybe you write it down. Maybe you're just keeping a running total in your head because you're like accounting God or goddess. We're going in 5 seconds. Back to L-sits. 2, 1, go. Job, Shivani. Again, trying to keep your chest up as tall as you can, not leaning back. 10 seconds. Good, Leslie. Keep it up, Jose. 2, 1, rest. Boom. Good job, guys. Back to squats. Getting back up to standing. Trying to maintain that same pace from rounds 1 and 2. Going in 5, 2, 1, go. Let's go, guys. Stay with it. Good job, Isha. Keep it up, Katie. And rest. We're over halfway through the workout overall. Good job, guys. Back to your no push-up burpees or jumps here. Finishing round 3. Going in 10 seconds. And go! Job, Robin. Keep it up, Rosie. Ten seconds left. And rest. Good job. 3 rounds done. 2 to go. Almost there, guys. In the home stretch. We're well past halfway. I always find round 4 is kind of the one you got to grind through. Then round 5, we're like, this is it. 10 seconds. And go. L-sit. Think about pointing those toes if you can. We want to be gymnasts as best we can. Nice job, Joe. 10 seconds. And rest. Nice work. Back up for overhead squats. Grabbing a stretch between movements as you need it. Going in 10 seconds. And working. Let's go, Joe. Nice work. Try to keep that PVC pipe over your midline. Good job, Jordan. 10 more seconds. Keep it up, Liam. And rest. Good job. On to your jumps. Closing out round 4 here. Going in 5, 2, 1, go. Let's go, guys. Keep moving. Good work, Katie. Keep it up, Shivani. Job Sandalwick, ladies. 10 seconds. Three, 2, 1, rest. Last round through. Guys are doing great. Final round here. Going in 10 seconds. Last Lsat Hold. Make it a good one. 2, 1, go. Fight for it. Last one. Let's go, Hillary. Halfway. 5. And done. Done with L-sits. Nice job. Back to standing. Your overhead squats. "15 seconds. Keep thinking about pressing really tall, really active through those shoulders, not letting them sag down towards your rib cage. And go. Last set of squats here. Good job, guys. Nice pace here. This is it. 10 more seconds. 2, 1, and rest. Good job, guys. Last rest interval, and one more work segment. Last little bit of work on those jumps, or no push-up burpees. 15 seconds, and we're going on that final bit of work. Starting in 5, 2, 1, go! Last jumps. Good job, Leslie. Let's go, Robin. Finish strong, guys. Stay moving. Try to pick up that pace a little. Home stretch. Good job, Isha. Keep it up, Jose. 5, 2, 1. Rest. Good job, guys. I just recommend grabbing a little twist here to close it out, coming down to your butts, knees towards the ceiling. Take that little figure 4 and then drop your foot towards the ground. Getting a little twist and kind of pigeon-like stretch here. You could also do this laying all the way back onto your back. Just slightly different variations on that. Again, ankle across the body, and take that foot down towards the ground. If you kept track of your scores, you can feel free to type your total squats into the chat area. And that's all for today.